Air pollution. Pollution should be a major concern to anyone, particularly if you have pre-existing health conditions that might be exacerbated by pollution. Pollution exists everywhere in the world, in every major city. Air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, chemical pollution, and noise pollution. Of course, major urban areas with dense populations and lots of vehicle traffic will have a higher level of air pollution. In Colombia, the emission requirements of vehicles we are all familiar with in the States is non-existent. It is not uncommon to see old beater trucks coughing down the road, spewing noxious black exhaust. Forget about electric vehicles here, as is being pushed on every news cycle by the mainstream media in the US. Air pollution levels will of course vary with every city, time of day, and season of the year. This is one of the many reasons I prefer countryside to urban living. Water pollution. For me this is heartbreaking. I see rivers here polluted with chemical waste, bio-waste, and industrial waste. This is not to mention heavy metals pollution from illegal mining. The general mismanagement and abuse of a natural resource is rampant. I have seen tanker trucks full of raw human sewage being pumped directly into a river, as well as bags of trash and medical waste, thrown into the river. Anyone familiar with river hydrology can confirm the rivers in a country are connected in a complex ecosystem. Streams become rivers, then tributaries of larger rivers, eventually flow to the sea. Keep in mind the drinking water here comes from streams and rivers. Do not ever make the mistake of drinking water directly from the tap. You will be in for a bad case of living in the bathroom with diarrhea, vomiting, cramps, and worse. Everyone here of course uses the water. They will boil and filter it prior to use. We have never had an issue with bathing or washing clothes in tap water. My suggestion for drinking water are the 5-gallon water bottles. There are services that will deliver them to your house for a very low price. Buy a water cooler and you are good to go. It costs $22 a month for 3 5-gallon bottles, delivered. Soil pollution. This goes hand in hand with contamination of the water and subterranean water tables. In the United States, once there is contaminated soil, there are very strict legal requirements if that land is to be used in the future, to include decontamination. That will involve digging quite deep to remove the contaminated soil and test if it reaches the standard required by state, local, and federal health authorities. It is quite common to see, for example, a mechanic's shop with the ground saturated with years of oil, transmission fluid, and various other noxious contaminants located right next to a restaurant. Litter and trash are also a major concern, and quite frankly a shock to the system for someone who is not accustomed to it. It is common here to see people blatantly throw trash on the ground, toss it by the bagful out their car window, and the ubiquitous COVID-19 mask is seen everywhere on the ground. It pains me to say it, but it seems many Colombians have no national pride for the conservation of natural resources, and just throw trash on the ground without a second thought. I have never heard a politician here running for a state or local political position speak to the trash, litter, and water pollution concerns. It is more common to just hear the standard issue buzzwords of equity, mobility, and equality. Pretty words that don't mean shit, and don't fix the rampant pollution that occurs. About 30 minutes from where I live is a landfill and recycling area. As many as 6 small towns have municipal dump trucks deposit their trash at this particular landfill. There is no planned waste management that I can see. Between burying what they can, and burning the rest, it is more of a sweeping under the rug plan than a detailed recycling, repurposing, and responsible disposal of waste. Noise pollution. One person's noise pollution is another person's party. I was warned of this long before I moved here. The concept of respect for your neighbor, who is trying to sleep with loud music blaring, doesn't exist here. Your choices are to accept it or move elsewhere. My personal solution was to move elsewhere. Having said that, every weekend about 100 yards from my house, there are 2 restaurants that host dance parties, weddings, quinceañeras, and various other social events, complete with a DJ and loud music. It's not that bad, but it is not my idea of a quiet existence in the country. I have gotten used to it. Adapt or move somewhere else. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for part 2. Like and subscribe if you found the information useful. We don't pull punches here, you get the real deal. See you next time.